Welcome, Impactful Parents. It's time for the Impactful Parenting Podcast, where I give you parenting tips and resources to make you a more impactful parent to your school-age child. I am your host, Christina Campos. Welcome, Impactful Parents. Today, we're going to talk about how to plan a vacation that even your teenagers will be excited about taking. In fact, we're going to be talking about how to include your teens in the planning process so that vacation time is fun and bonding and not fighting with an unenthusiastic teenager. Hello, my name is Christina Campos. I'm founder of The Impactful Parent, and I help parents of school-age children who want to be one step ahead of their kids to turn their chaos into connection with their adolescent. I'm a mom of four, a teacher that's taught every grade from preschool through high school, and today I help moms and dads like yourself to navigate that exhausting, confusing, frustrating, but rewarding world of parenting. So welcome to The Impactful Parent. And today I have a special guest. Her name is Rahn. And Laura is a retired educator and a certified family travel coach. As a military brat, she has been traveling her whole life. And Laura has been involving her two adult daughters in the vacation process planning since they were old enough to have a voice. And today, Laura loves sharing her passion for family travel with others. When Laura found me, I had to have her on the show because if this isn't your first episode, then you know that I absolutely love travel and I value travel as one of my core beliefs. And I'm a big advocate for traveling with your children. So I can't wait to hear Laura give us some magic ways of making our family vacations more fun and less stressful. So let's do this.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Christina. I'm really excited to share my experiences and what I've figured out to help my family have a better vacation.
I'm excited too. I mean, really, like every year we go on family vacations because this is one of my core values of family. For so many reasons of why travel is so important. And yeah, we're not going to talk about why that's so important today, as that is a completely different episode. And actually check them out on The Impactful Parent. I have a few. But today, how do we actually have an enjoyable family vacation? So let's start off with, what is a family travel coach exactly?
So about 2 years ago, I'm also a teacher, or was a teacher, and I taught quite a few grades and mom to two wonderful daughters, husband, dog. And a couple years ago, I retired from education after 33 years. And I had been an instructional coach and working with adults. And then I found the Travel Coach Network and became accredited and certified as a family travel coach. So it's a little bit different than a travel agent. A travel agent does the bookings. You can call your travel agent at midnight and say, my plane's delayed, I lost my luggage, help me. As a travel coach, I empower the parents. I empower the families to create that vacation, to design that vacation, and then ultimately depart on that vacation that they're in charge of, that they've designed. And I can walk beside the parents and help them, and I could provide resources. I could do the behind the scenes research because we all know how busy moms and dads are. So I can provide resources and ideas and ask the questions and bring the kids to the table. I like to talk to the teenagers and say, what do you want to do? And get all the ideas. And then I work with the parent to come up with lists, ideas, itineraries. But the parents are the ones who click the buttons. They're the ones with the purse strings. They're the ones designing the budget. They should be the ones to be empowered to say, okay, we're ready for this vacation. So I more work beside them and partner with the parents than do the work for them.
Oh, I get it. And how needed. I am such an experienced traveler. So there's so many different things that go into this, and it is so layer upon layer to get ready for really big travel, not just small little things around close. Like really big travel takes so much time and preparation. And if it's done right, oh my gosh. Yes. I mean, the bonding, the experience, the learning that the kids can have in other places.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to be international to have an amazing cultural experience. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a common misconception. So I'm really excited to hear about this and how you're helping families and all these great tips that you're going to be able to provide. I really hope people reach out to you at the end of the episode if they are a family who struggles to maybe communicate with their teens a little bit but still wants to have that bond, still wants to have this great adventure. It sounds like you would be an amazing catalyst for that. So I'm excited to hear more. And I hear you have a 3-step process to this. Can you tell me about that?
Yes. So probably I think it was 2017 when I was with my teenage daughters. And we had a trip. I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of details right now because it would take a while. But I planned this incredible vacation. And I knew everyone was going to have fun. And the girls were 15 and 13. And it was going to be amazing. Well, it wasn't as amazing as I had hoped it would be because the girls didn't appreciate my plans as much as I had thought they would. Oh, everyone's going to have so much fun. And, we've done this vacation before and you're going to love it. And so we came home from that vacation. We might say that we have said that was the vacation that my daughters hijacked because one of them threw a fit and the other one got mad at her. And then I'm sitting there going, we spent so much money on this trip and everything. So I came home and started thinking about what went wrong. And I realized what went wrong is that I didn't ask my teenagers, what do you want to do on this vacation? And that's where I started thinking. And then as I went through the travel coach certification process and had some more training around this and everything and became a travel coach, I realized there's basically the 3 steps. And especially working with families, dreaming about the vacation, then designing your vacation, and then ultimately departing on that vacation. And there's more to departing than just getting through security on time and getting on your plane. So when I work with clients, we really focus on dreaming, and then we focus on designing, and then we focus on what do you need to do to get ready for the departure. And I include the whole family. Everyone's at the table, everyone's on the screen if it's virtual. And I've had lots of positive feedback about, okay, we can do this.
So what do you do exactly in that dream process? So this is step 1. We're dreaming about it. And I think this is the part where I feel like a lot of parents do the dreaming all by themselves. And it's so sad. But they have this thing in their mind, like so much of parenting, where we have a vision of what we want to do with our kids and they're going to love it. And I did that as a kid, so they're going to love it as a kid. And we kind of, like you said, hijack the vacation in the dream. And we don't ever include. So what does this all consist of, this step 1?
Yeah, well, and as the kids are growing up, planning that vacation for your toddlers, you sort of just pack everything and you go, or planning it for your elementary school age kids. But when the kids become teenagers and tweens, what I realized and what I work with is, so the dream part is really bringing everyone to the table, family meeting time, and really sitting down and asking each kid, okay, we're going to take a big vacation this summer, or maybe we're just going to go back to the beach that we've been going to for the last 10 years, but you're older now. And why do you want to go on this vacation? I always start with the why, and letting each person share their why. No judgment zone, and just listening, not interrupting. Why do you want to go on this vacation? And then the next question that I ask is, so what are your intentions on the vacation? What do you want to do? And not what do you want to do? I want to climb a mountain. I want to play in the water. I want to go shopping. But what do you want to do? Well, I want to just have fun. I want to laugh. What do you want to do? What are your intentions? And then the next question deals with their hopes. What do you hope happens during the vacation? Well, I hope that you don't yell at me a whole lot, or I hope that we don't fight, or I hope that we get to not spend all day in the car. So what do you hope happens? And it's not even focused on a destination yet. It's more just talking about, okay, you're old enough to have a voice. What do you hope happens on this vacation? Because we want you to come with us and we want you to have fun. And the last one is a really fun question because I pose it and I say, so if you could wave a magic wand and the vacation is over and we're all back, how do you want to feel? What do you want to tell your friends about this vacation? And that's interesting to hear the older kids. Well, I want to tell my friends this, or I want to be able to say this. I want to show off this. So again, intentional listening, not interrupting, just letting the kids share their hopes and dreams before getting into, well, we only have this much money and we have to stay in a hotel here. Don't think about that yet. Just the dreaming part.
Oh, like mind blown. I love these questions because these questions are great dinner table conversation. They're going to pull out the things that you didn't know your kids really wanted. And it avoids some of that stuff that I was just talking about where we're dreaming on our own and you're going to love this. So many parents, for example, go to Disneyland and I love Disneyland.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Disneyland.
Big Disney thing.
I also have a kid who gets really overstimulated with a lot of, things like lights and the sounds and all the things. And it's not his favorite vacation. And yet and I didn't know that. Of course I learned the wrong way by dragging him along saying, you're going to love this. Yeah. Don't you know? It's the happiest place on earth. Exactly. And so I love how this start of the dreaming process really stops that because you're starting to inquire with your kids and really giving them a say. And when kids have agency in what they do, man, talk about the tables turning. Like all of a sudden their attitude is better. All of a sudden they're just invested and you get less attitude, you get less pushback. They suddenly feel like you're working with them. And before we move on to step 2, because I have questions about this dream process, can you share some tips on how parents can involve their kids in the vacation planning process to ensure everyone's going to enjoy this experience?
It's important. We're all busy and going 500 different directions, especially with teenagers and tweens. And maybe even having a family dinner is difficult with different schedules or activities and things. I think it's really important, the communication piece. It is really important to find a moment. If you are going to spend money on this vacation and you are going to leave, and whether you're flying or cruising or driving or whatever, everyone needs to be invested in it. And as far as like tips, it's really explaining to the kids. If you're lucky enough, you might have been traveling through their whole life and different kinds of vacations. But now it's time to say, I want you to help me plan this. I want you to tell me, what do you want to do? And maybe the kids have never been asked that before. And so they might puff up and be like, oh, okay. And if they don't respond, then maybe it's phrasing it in a different way and saying, do you really want to go on this vacation? Where do you want to go?
I'm glad you brought that up because there are parents I know listening to this going, well, my teen is just going to be like, I don't know. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I know they're probably screaming through the mic, though, their audio going, what do I do about that?
Yeah. I just took my 22 and 24-year-old on a girls' trip last summer. And we sat down. My 24-year-old is not local. So we actually sat down on a screen like this and talked about, okay, what do you want to do? And my 24-year-old was like, I don't know. I mean, this isn't my favorite kind of vacation, but I want to go for my sister. And so I'm like, okay, well, what do you want to do? Well, I want to find a bookstore. I want to find a cafe and be able to just sit and absorb. I'm like, okay, not at the top of my other daughter's list, but now we know. So it's, again, letting the kids talk with each other. Mm-hmm. Because one may say, oh, God, that's stupid. I don't want to do that. And if they understand, we want to create memories with both of you and we want both of you to have fun, we're going to compromise. We're going to be flexible. And that all happens in that dreaming phase too, where you're having these, it can be short, not a family meeting that lasts for 2 hours. It can be a quick 10-minute conversation and then another 10-minute conversation on another day as you're still, okay, we're still thinking about this vacation. Have you guys thought any more? What do you want to do? You know, what kinds of things don't you want to do? And so just pull those snippets of time. Don't make it some formal sit down. We're going to talk about our vacation now, because they might not respond to that.
Great tip, because we have to remember that. I think we forget that as parents. It doesn't all have to happen at once. And I love that.
Yeah.
In your experience, what are some popular destinations or activities that tend to hit well with teenagers as you're thinking about this dream process?
I've got a nature-loving daughter, and I've got a big city-loving daughter. And we've had to find the happy medium when we travel together. And through asking these questions, and we start like a year out, really just thinking about it. Spontaneous vacations tend to be return to places we've done before. But big vacations, I really want to hear what they want to do. And we have found great success with national parks. And I say that because, of course, there's the nature and the hiking and the wildlife and the sights. There's usually also cute towns nearby that have fun shopping, that have fun coffee shops. We found we were in Jackson Hole with Grand Tetons and Yellowstone, and they have a great dinner theater and saloon. My daughter, every time we go, she's like, I want to go see what show they're performing. And I want to go there. And we're like, okay, but that's what she wants. And we do it, and we end up having a great time because we respect her wants and needs, as well as let's go on the 5-mile hike inside the Tetons. And she's willing to do that because she knows there's going to be something on the other side. So the national parks, and then we've done big cities. We've done New York City. We've done Las Vegas and Hollywood and Anaheim. Of course, Disney World and Land multiple times. All of those, though, we've had the conversations. My nature-loving daughter, I just want to find that cafe and just sit and look at people and, just absorb. I want to find green space and just sit there for a little bit. And so, again, it's really listening and getting to really know that deep structure of what your kids want out of this vacation, rather than just, this is where we're going and we're going to have fun.
I think one of the things that I found as a parent who has been traveling with their children for over 22 years now, since they were babies, trying to, literally teaching my young children how to travel from the beginning, since I knew travel was really important to me. Yep. But one of the things I found really difficult is what you're talking about there. In the beginning, when I was like, I know what you're going to like, parent, and I was this is going to be wonderful. And I have all these big ideas, especially if I'm going international and I'm going to spend more money. Then I had way bigger ideas about what I was going to do, what I wanted the kids to see, what we were going to get out of it. And it was hard as a parent to let my own dreams go and put up with putting into the itinerary the things I didn't want to spend my money on, the things I didn't really care to do because my kids wanted to do them. For example, I hate water. I hate cold water. Okay, I can't tell you how many times I've been rafting, and it breaks my heart every time.
Yep. Oh, I get it.
I'll tell you what, the secret to that is, even though I'm in a little bit of pain and suffering for a little while, the whole vacation as a whole is so much more enjoyable because they love what they're doing and I'm not fighting them along the way.
Yes.
And I've learned it took such a hard road to get there, but I've learned that I need to give that control up and suffer a little bit with things that I don't want to do to have a better vacation overall for everybody. And that is exactly what you were talking about there. And that's just so tough. And I want to acknowledge that for parents because
it is.
I've been there.
And that was that story I shared from 2017 when my girls were young teenagers. And by gosh darn it, you will have fun. And we are going to have a great time because I planned this incredible thing that I know you will love. And like you said, they didn't love parts of it. And it's because I did not ask them or talk to them. If I had known, then my one daughter, I would not have said, you have to come here with us. You can go do that instead. And so it's the communication. And also one of the things I talk with moms and dads in like the first meeting is that I'll say, why do you want to go on this family vacation? Why? And really, and not just because we haven't been away forever, because, it's 1 week a year where we can be together. And I'll keep asking, okay, so why? So why? So why? And it usually gets to, we are so busy. I just want us all to be together and build our relationships more. I want to learn more about my kids because they're older now and they're so busy I never see them. And I want us just to be together, maybe without even devices for a little while because there's no Wi-Fi or cell signals. I just want us to have fun. And when I hear moms and dads saying that, especially with teenagers, it's like, okay, let's make that happen. But it's going to take some work.
Yes, 100%. Oh my gosh. I'm loving this conversation so much because it's so valuable. I hope parents are getting it because I'm like, all of this, I'm shaking my head. Tell me more about step 2, design.
Okay. So the design part, a lot of that does fall on mom and dad, but not right away. So you want to talk to the kids about, okay, we know what your dreams are and your hopes are. So where do you want to go? You might already have a destination, in which case you might skip that question. Well, we're going to California and we're going to these places. But where do you want to go? And why do you want to go there? So that's the where part, the destinations. So once we get to this place, what do you want to do there? And they might not know. It might be a brand new place. Well, then you share information or you task your teenagers with researching a little bit. Go sort of explore this website, explore this place, and come back and tell me some of the things you found that you want to do. So what experiences do you want to have there? I've gotten everything with my family from, I want to find the cute independent coffee shops. I want to, of course, do the souvenir shopping and find really fun restaurants. I want to go the hiking. I want to go down to the water. I want to get wet. I don't want to get wet. I want to zip line. I want to tandem paraglide. I don't want to do any of that. And I want to do yoga, find a yoga class. And so giving them the opportunity to do a little research on their own if they want to, or you can share with them, this is what I found. Does any of this sound good? And then the length. How long can your kids handle being gone? We have found a happy medium with my family because a lot of parents can take off, the 5 work days. So a lot of these vacations are like Saturday to Saturday, Sunday to Sunday. If you're lucky, you can extend it, or it has to be just a long weekend with a day or so on either side. How long do the kids want to be gone from their friends? Potentially boyfriends, girlfriends, summer jobs. Do they want to spend their whole spring break on vacation? So asking your kids, how long do you want to be gone? I learned very quickly that one of my daughters really does not like more than 7 days. She starts shutting down. Even if it's a giant vacation with lots of activities and fun things, she'll start shutting down. I could probably vacation for 2 or 3 weeks and be fine. But I know that now about my kids because we've talked about it. And the other thing is the itinerary. Do you want to have, and this is all gathering information from your kids. Do you want to have down days where we sit by the pool and do absolutely nothing? Do you want every day to be busy, busy, busy? Do you want to go out to dinner every night? Do we want to find a place where we can cook meals in sometimes? And asking those questions. Listening, being flexible, not interrupting them, no judgment zone, just letting the kids share. And I do a lot of this with my clients where I will have the kids on the screen because I'm a neutral person. Sometimes they might share with me better than, why are you asking me this, mom or dad? So I invite the kids into the conversation with me also as I'm helping the moms and dads sort of dream about and design these trips. After all of those conversations and gathering that information from your kids with your kids, then the parents take the information and they talk to the kids about the budget. Well, we can't do all 20 things you want because this is how much it costs. This is how much it costs. This is how much it costs. And so they take all this information. The parents design an itinerary. The parents then also figure out the budget. And you've got to include all those random pieces inside that budget. And then the most important part of this design phase is taking the itinerary you designed back to the kids. I listened to everything you said, and this is what we've decided our 7 days are going to look like. What do you think? And I actually have a protocol that I use with families where we allow the kids to say, well, I don't like what you have down there for day 2. Can we move day 4 to day 6? And that's like 2 days in a row of doing this. Can we change? And sometimes the answer is, oh, I hadn't thought about that. And sometimes it's like, yeah, no, not really but you have your why behind you. You have your why behind it. So after the parents do the itinerary and the budget and come back and share it with the kids, they get their feedback from the kids. And they work together then to firm up this itinerary that meets everyone's needs.
Magic. A couple of comments, and then I have a question for you. The timeline. I'm so happy that you brought that up because I feel like another mistake a lot of parents make is that it's 7 days. It's going to be a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just such a standard. And I too found out the hard way that after a certain time, we just start to get on each other's nerves, and it just like the vacation just will crumble. And it has nothing to do with what we were doing. And it's all about the length of time. We just took it too far. Yeah. And like yourself, I could go on vacation forever. So I don't understand that. I get tired, but I can keep going because I'm so excited. My whole family can't do that. And then it ruins the end of the vacation if I'm prolonging it. And then again, why am I prolonging it? For me, and I'm not putting the big whole picture in mind. And now our vacation is not as good because now we're arguing. Now we're ending on a bad note. And that timeline thing is way more important than I think parents realize.
Yeah. And it goes back to your why. Your individual, why do you want to go on vacation? For togetherness, to just learn more about each other, to be in a space where we can relax and enjoy each other's company. And if you go too long, that's the memory you come home with because that's what happened at the end.
Yeah. Oh, it's crucial. And I love how you, as a travel coach, can be such a great asset for getting honest opinions from your kids. I mean, I know I got a couple people pleaser kids who kind of do want to they love their mama so much that they'll be like, okay, yeah, I'll do that because I know my mom wants to, and they won't say anything and they'll buckle down and bless their heart. I love them so much for doing that for me. But sometimes it's just better if they would just tell me or the other way around. They don't want to tell me, for whatever reason, because I got a different kind of kid that just doesn't want to talk to me. And, but you, on the other hand, would be able to drive that out of them. I could see kids being a lot more open and saying honest opinions about certain activities. Yeah. This is where you would really come into play. I could see in this whole process.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun. Again, having been an educator for 33 years, a teacher for 26, and all different grades also, and including a lot of the middle school. I didn't do so much high school, but I raised high school daughters. And that I love talking to the kids and creating that safe space where they can just be honest. the last time we went here, it was so boring because da 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 da. And letting mom and dad know you're just going to listen because this is important, so you can really have that good vacation and continue those open lines of communication with your kids.
Now, with number 2, this second step, how can parents strike a balance between introducing educational elements into vacations, which is really important to me, I know, as a parent, and then ensuring that our kids stay engaged and entertained?
Yeah. And again, it goes back to, why are you going on this trip? Are you going on this trip to show them a new culture? Are you going on this trip to let them experience a new part of the world or the country they've never been to before? As well as, are you going on this trip to get away and have quality time together? So it's sort of, again, finding that balance and then talking with the kids up front. So we're going to go to this place that you learned about in school, or we're going to go to this place that we watched that TV show about that looked really cool. And we're going to go to a museum, or we're going to go on a tour where someone's going to talk to us about what we're looking at, because I want you to understand what's special about this location and what's important about it. And then have those memories and have that sort of in the back of your brain for later, that you've learned about that place. I also think, though, there needs to be that, well, let's look at what activities are around, and let's look at what fun things we can do while we're here to keep that engagement up. And it's that I work with the clients, on kids and parents, on that idea of that flexibility and compromise. We're going to go to a museum because we want you to understand this. We're also going to go whitewater rafting and have a lot of fun with that. And so it's striking that balance with the kids.
I also learned that hard way. I love putting my own experience in this to tell parents that as a parenting coach, I've messed this up too, but yes. I took my kids in the beginning to way too many churches. I love churches. I love all different kinds, synagogues. I love learning about people's culture. So I drug them along to too many. And that had to stop. Eventually they spoke up, and it was not in a good way.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've lived it all also. And it wasn't until the girls were 15 and 13 when I realized I'm doing something wrong here. I want to keep traveling with them, and I want them to keep wanting to travel with us. And that's where I started thinking about all this and figuring it out.
And let's get to part 3, depart. Yes. Okay, you said it's more than just going. So what is it?
In my personal situations with planning vacations, we tend to start a year out because we need to budget, and I don't want to go into debt for a vacation. So we need to figure out how much to put away every month and all of that, as well as you can sometimes get really good deals on flights and hotels and things. So by the time the 6 months to a year has passed, it's like, okay, we're doing this now. And there's still so much that can build the excitement, especially with teenagers and tweens, with getting ready. So we've done everything from the countdown chain. And when my girls were teenagers, because we had done it when they were little, they still wanted, when we hit 100 days out, they still wanted that countdown chain that we strung across the banister of the stairs to tear. And sometimes we'd forget about it and have to go back and tear off 10 pieces. But it's that visual of it's getting closer. We have also started doing recently, creating a vacation bingo card as a family, where a true bingo sheet, and putting in the boxes things that we hope or know that we will be doing on that vacation.
Oh, I love
and
that.
Everyone contributes to the bingo card. And we'll go find images off the internet and really make it all cute and pretty. I've got samples that I can share. And so then it's designing that bingo card. Oh, I can't wait till we go to this restaurant. I really want to find this store. We're going to go rafting here. I want to sit by the water here. And I want to do this hike. And I want to do this. And putting them all on the bingo card, because then you take that with you and you can just start checking things off. And it sort of makes it more real. Another thing is probably like that week prior, to really go back and revisit step one. Let's talk about, why are we going on this vacation again? What did you say you wanted to get out of this? What did you say? What did you say? What did you say? And bringing those whys back to the front, bringing that magic wand question back to the front. Okay, we're leaving in 3 days. How do you want to feel when we come home? Remember what you said. And so revisiting those whys and those hopes and those intentions right before you leave. And then I learned the hard way also, the packing piece. We pack for our kids when they're little, and it's so easy. We know what they need and we put it in. Once they hit that age where I can do it myself, what I do is I actually, and my daughters have gotten used to this. They're like, okay, can I just have the itinerary, please? I give them the itinerary. They go through and they're like, okay, I want to wear this on this day. I want to wear this on this day. I want to wear this. And they then put everything in, and the packing becomes less stressful for me because they know, and I'll actually write down 10 pairs of underwear, 3 pairs of pajamas, and the itinerary. And then they get to pick what they want to pack. So even the packing becomes fun. And That's so great. It's just, you can make the week before you leave almost as much fun as the vacation because of all the things you're getting ready to do. If, again, you're flexible, you're open to talking with each other and doing those things.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love the anticipation. That's great ideas, great tips for that. Mm-hmm. Can you suggest some strategies for dealing with potential conflicts when we're actually on that vacation? Mm-hmm. Maybe perhaps ways to avoid the meltdowns and the kids checking out on their phone or whatever that might look like for each family.
I keep saying communication. And I think back to my experiences because all those things have happened where I look over and she's on the phone and I'm like, you need to, and I need to stop and go, okay. The kids need their own time also. And I found with traveling with my daughters and my husband, with the 4 of us taking family vacations for so long, that there are times where my goal might be togetherness and learning about each other. The kids also need that time for self-growth, that time for self-reflection. And that's a conversation to have before you leave, because you can tell them if there's a time where you really need to check out for half an hour. If you want to, you want to text your friends, you want to send them pictures, you might want to be on Instagram or something. That's fine. But sort of tell me, I need 20 minutes, Mom. And that alleviates that. Why aren't you paying attention? You need to appreciate that. Look out the window. Look at that. That's beautiful. And we've started doing that where the girls will say, I just want to go to sleep. Road trip. I just want to sleep for the next 2 hours or look on my phone. Okay. I know that. And we're good. But again, it's setting those expectations or having those conversations before you leave. If you get mad at me on vacation, how do you want me to handle it? What do you want out of that? If I do something to upset you, instead of storming out of the room and slamming the doors or running away, what can you do to tell me that you're mad at me so that we can continue to have a great vacation? How can we fix it in the moment? And having those conversations before you leave really can support the communication during.
I know as a parent, I struggle most with managing screen time and technology use during our family vacations because I want a more well-rounded experience for my kids, and that's not going to be on a screen a lot. Mm-hmm. And so that conversation about what's screen time going to look like before you leave is so important. And I do put in designated screen time use. Like, this is when I am going to not get bothered when you're on your screen. And whether it's every night after, from before you go to bed, we'll make sure we get to the room and you'll have some Wi-Fi, or while we're waiting for any meal or food, we've already talked quite a bit, right? So meal times on vacation don't all necessarily have to be as much bonding because we're not leaving each other. We're literally sleeping together too in the same room. So there's a lot of togetherness. So at the dinner table, I'm worried less about sitting and having a conversation with them. So I let them check out while we're waiting for food. And just knowing that, like when they can anticipate it, I feel like has really helped in giving my teenagers peace of mind because it's so important to them. And even though I don't understand that because I'm from a different generation, again, it goes back to what your why, right? I want everybody to be happy. I want us all to get along. So, there's just things that, as a parent that you got to take it for the team so that the overall big picture is going to be okay.
And that goes back to involving the kids in the conversation before you leave.
Yes.
You're going to want to check on your phone. You're going to want to check in with your friends, maybe. You're going to want to use the Wi-Fi or watch something on YouTube. What if in the perfect world on vacation, what do you want that to look like? Well, at least for 2 times a day, and then there's that compromise, flexibility, that back and forth dialogue with, okay, now we've come to a conclusion that this is what it will look like. And so the kids, like you said, they know it's coming. They know they'll get that time.
I want to talk now more about where the listeners can learn more about Dream, Design, and Depart method for their family vacations, because this is what you do. So tell us about, if they're listening, and I know many parents will be, and they're resonating with this, tell us more.
So multiple options. I mean, one option is you can reach out to me directly and we could set up a discovery call for 30 minutes to see if I can support you in vacation planning, dreaming, designing, departing with your family. The second option is, about a year ago, I published a book, and it is an interactive workbook. It is actually titled Dream, Design, Depart, and it's available on Amazon. And it takes the families through each of these steps with worksheets, with where the kids can actually write their answer in for why do you want to go on this vacation? It has a space for each family member to be able to say, okay, mom, dad, kid 1, kid 2, kid 3, kid 4, and they can actually handwrite in their hopes, their wishes, their dreams, their expectations. And it gives all of those questions I like to ask. They're all in each section. It's divided into the 3 sections, Dream, Design, Depart. There's also a digital component to it. So if you don't want to write in the book, there's a website link to it that you can print out each of the interactive pages. So you could use it multiple times on different vacations also.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
And where can we find this book if we're interested in purchasing it? And how much is it?
So it is on Amazon. And again, the title is Dream, Design, Depart. I'm the author, Laura Rahn. And the subtitle, A Practical Guide to Involve Your Entire Family in Planning Your Next Big Vacation. Available on Amazon. It's currently at $18.99. And it does have the digital site. Once you purchase the book, there's the QR code and the website inside that you can then go for even additional resources. Some of the research behind how planning a vacation makes you happier when you have something to look forward to. And
yes, it does.
And so a lot of the research there and a lot of the fun interactive pieces I have in the book are also included in the on the website that accompanies the book. So again, on Amazon, Dream, Design, Depart by Laura Rahn.
Now, that sounds like an incredible deal to me. Definitely worth money. But let's say they want to step further and they do want to contact you for more one-on-one help. How can they get a hold of you?
So I am available. I have a website. It is seldomadullmoment.com. And Seldom a Dull Moment is my business where, we need those quiet times, but we also like to be active and have fun. So seldomadullmoment.com is my website. And there's a link at the top that says contact me. And you could access my calendar there and just set up a 30-minute discovery call, and then we would go from there.
And the last thing I want to end with is you have a freebie for our audience. And I am so excited to give this to parents. I will be housing it inside the Impactful Parent app. So the Impactful Parent app is free. So all you have to do is go to your phone's app store, search Impactful Parent, download the app, and you're going to see this episode and this freebie right next to it inside the app. So go check that out. But tell us, Laura, what's the freebie?
So the freebie is a 4-page PDF, 4 pages of my Dream Design Depart method. And it highlights the questions, and it gives a little bit of background information about why each step is important. And it's sort of that abbreviated version of the book. So 4 pages, it gives you a high-level overview with some of the key points for each of those steps.
I feel like it's a really good summary of everything that we talked about today, to be honest with you. And I love that because I know a lot of people are listening to this in the car or, busy, and they're like, oh, I should remember that. Just go to the app, get the free PDF and download it. Bam, there you go. Print it out. And now you have...
If you do want more information
for this whole episode, so it's awesome.
Yeah. And if you do want more information after you download the PDF, of course, there is a link to get a copy of the book. So you could go to that next step. I do have a link on the PDF if you wanted more information.
Laura, thank you so much for being here with me today. Such a great conversation, so dear to my heart. And any last suggestions and words for our families?
The only thing I'll say is that it's about having that vacation that has less drama and more fun.
Thank you for listening today. Remember to subscribe and share this podcast with a friend. And don't forget, the Impactful Parenting Podcast is an extension of the Impactful Parent community. Go to the Impactful Parent website and download the free Impactful Parent app so you don't miss a parenting tip that can help you and your family. Thanks for listening today. So go to theimpactfulparent.com and see you next episode.